Okay, we're getting Gimenez and Nick Sandlin for Spencer Horwitz. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even know who Nick Sandlin is.
Okay.
Okay, are we about to change our minds here?
Well, you know what? Maybe we are. Maybe we are about to change our minds, actually.
Okay, and we have this guy till 2028.
You know, and look at the career, and
okay,
you know what I mean? Like, maybe this changes my mind a bit.
I mean, it definitely. I mean, yeah,
it helps. It certainly helps.
I always said we need to trade for a guy who's got a little bit more control. We traded for two guys with more control, and we're willing to pay that money. Wow. I mean, okay, it makes it a little bit better, but I think this deal looks better from a Blue Jay standpoint if you could also get a bat in free agency or a starting pitcher or something, because right now we're hoping and we're praying right now. I mean, the one good thing, I guess, okay, let me get off my initial reaction, try to spin some positivity here. The one good thing I guess you could spin from this, guy steals a lot of bags. Could be your leadoff guy if he's bouncing back. That could be your new lead. I mean, who would you rather have, Gimenez or George Springer leading off?
Gimenez.
Probably Gimenez. I mean,
yeah.
It's very close, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this makes it somewhat more...
okay, and you know what? Thomas Hall spinning it in a positive light, too, here, saying sending Spencer Horwitz to Cleveland certainly opens up plenty of DH reps.
Okay, yeah, because he's going to play second base every day.
Right.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Because now Horwitz is out, and it's like, okay, well, Vladdy's obviously first.
Right. But damn, we are losing. We didn't even take it in fully. We're losing Spencer Horwitz.
That's right. Yeah, that is tough. Yes. Yeah. So honestly, it comes down to like you gotta just. I guess you just gotta. Not that you want to hope. Like I want this guy to do well, but I guess they're just thinking that they're trading him at his high, and I suppose they're hoping that Gimenez is going to bounce back. Like that's honestly what this is. They are hoping that Andres Gimenez is going to bounce back.
I would not mind this deal if we replaced that production of 125 OPS plus. If we got a production of 125 OPS plus, you could make the argument that, well, we got a veteran second base, 3-time Gold Glover with the upside of having 30 stolen bases and being lead off. And if we go replace Spencer Horwitz with a Santander or Hernandez or whatever, or Alonso, that'd be obviously a lot better. Then you also get that additional reliever. Okay, that's for me. It's like I still can't walk in offensively with Andres Gimenez. You know, that's not like a sure thing right there offensively because we've seen the regression, but at least the Sandlin thing makes it a little bit sweeter.
Wow, Horwitz is older than Gimenez too. That's also true.
That's also true. He is 27.
That's right. Like Gimenez is like, you know, you kind of think about Andres Gimenez as being somebody that's like been in this league forever.
Right, but he's still 26.
But he is still only 26 years old. So, I mean, like there's still a lot of time left for him to develop. I mean, ultimately, like the guy is elite defensively speaking.
Yes,
he's elite defensively speaking. And now we have him. I think we can all admit that this is going to be our... What does he play primarily? Is it second baseman for sure?
Primarily second base.
Okay, so now we know we're going to have a second base now for the rest, like for 5 years.
For the next 5 years, Andres Gimenez will be our
second baseman. Yeah.
And that's...
And so that means, honestly, I mean, like Horwitz is gone now.
He's gone.
I wonder what you do with all those other guys that need reps.
Yeah, that's the thing too. You gotta trade them.
Well, because like
you gotta trade them.
You literally just made the decision that they're not gonna have a spot for 5 years.
Yeah, and hey, Gimenez can play a little shortstop too. Maybe he goes over to short and places Bo. So it's like, okay,
that's an option.
There could be maybe you hang on to one guy. And you make him the Bo replacement.
Oh, fuck. This is our Bo replacement?
This could be our Bo Bichette replacement, everybody. Andres Gimenez could be the Bo Bichette replacement down the line.
Wow. 650 people in here. Guys, if you haven't already done so, please hit the like and smash the subscribe button. Folks, really apologies for all the technical issues that we've been dealing with recently. We are trying to rectify them as much as possible. Hopefully it doesn't crash again, but we're just in here taking this deal right now. We got a donation here from Liam Thomas.
Let's go.
Steal for the Jays. You know what? Like, we were raging... We were raging off the top here. Absolute Dan says, gonna miss Horwitz. The roomies got separated. They did get separated. W's in the chat. But we were raging off the top. I don't think it's a rage for me anymore. Like I don't think I'm raging.
Yeah, I'm coming to terms. I like this. I like the bullpen edition, and we have them for I think 3 years. We have them for.
Yeah,
like that's solid, but I still need a bat, man. I mean, I like the upside. Maybe he could hit like he did in 2022. Maybe the new Twins coach can kind of help him out. But we do need a bat, man.
I think, honestly, okay, Exo Motion is saying, tell me how to feel, please. Okay, this is how you should feel. This is how you should feel. Losing Spencer Horwitz sucks. Yeah. And honestly, when we first got that notification, that caught us off guard quite a bit, I think. Because ultimately, you know, when you think about that Toronto Blue Jays lineup and you think about actual promising potential, he was one of, if not the most promising right
He was locked in at our 5th spot starting the year next year.
Exactly.
And we liked it, right?
That being said, Andres Gimenez is the Dalton Varsho of the infield. If you want to talk about somebody that is like strong defensively speaking, that's him in the infield. And to Adam's point, it's like, okay, now if Bo Bichette does walk, well, we're going to have an elite shortstop. Like, I assume that he can play shortstop at an elite level.
Yeah.
You know, so now it's like no worries at all from a defensive standpoint. We slot that guy in and, you know, we can figure it out and hopefully supplement the offense elsewhere.
Right.
I think that you need to walk into this deal, though, or not like hoping that he does better offensively speaking, obviously, but expecting a mid to high 600 OPS.
Yeah, get ready for that. And he still stole 30 bases.
He stole. That's true. And you know what?
He still stole 30 bases.
I don't like what was one of my biggest complaints last
Stolen
year.
bases.
We don't fucking do it, right?
And,
we never do it.
And that addresses that issue. But then go back to my point. It's like we need to get a bat. This deal could look two ways. This kind of reminds me, not so much because we gave up a lot for Dalton Varsho, but honestly, if you're not too worried about the money, it could look better than Dalton Varsho because you have this guy locked down for a long term. Great defense in the middle infield, replaces Bo Bichette, and we didn't give up that much for him.
Well, that's
really.
like
Spencer Horwitz.
Like honestly, I think that's the way that I'm starting to come around to it.
Yeah.
It's like because from a Cleveland Guardians standpoint, I think the only way that they make this trade is because they don't want to pay the money anymore.
Right.
So they're willing to take, you know, probably what is a loss just from a value standpoint. Because if you think about it, you are talking about somebody that's probably going to win multiple Gold Gloves for you that you have locked up for 5 years. And on top of that, we're talking about a relief pitcher coming in that we desperately need, who didn't perform great last year, but has a career ERA of 3.27. You know, like, let's not forget, like, that's actually a very good solid career ERA. This guy's never been hurt before.
Why does he have negative WAR?
Well, last year it was 3.75, so it wasn't great. You know what I mean? But
we're trying something.
That's the thing. Like, in terms of the career, his WHIP certainly inflated last year. His WHIP inflated to 1.266. But I mean, ultimately, like, I look at that. You know, today, think about it. Today we just got 57 innings here in the bullpen, and another 60 from Jimmy Garcia. We just gained 120 innings out of the bullpen.
Good. That's very, very
good.
Also, everyone's saying Keegan. They're going to meet with Ross Atkins in Dallas. They're about to meet with him. A previous scheduled time that has lined up conveniently. So we could hear something from Ross Atkins about this shortly.
All right. Well, we're going to have to stay and wait, guys. Who knew that we were going to be doing this tonight? I thought we were doing the whole MLB draft lottery watch, which we did. We're getting 8th overall, but now we're here. We got 1,000 people in this chat right now. Welcome in.
Let's run it.
Pray to God that the computer does not crash again, folks.
I'm like barely touching my internet as much as possible.
Let me handle it, and then we'll, if we need to bring something up, we will bring something up.
Because I literally was just looking up Keegan. I couldn't. I just couldn't. My computer can't handle this much internet going through it.
Yeah, in fact, I'm getting off the Wi-Fi even on my phone, just in case. You know,
I'll use my phone to kind of look at things here. So apologies if you can't see any visuals, guys. I think we'd rather have a stream up than a visual. We'll try and feed it to you guys.
If there's a visual that we need to show, we will show it. But welcome into the 1,000 people in here. If you haven't already done so, hit the like, smash the subscribe button, everybody. Andres Gimenez going to be where is he going to bat?
I think he bats leadoff.
I think this is the new leadoff guy, eh?
Yeah, I know that the OPS doesn't look that good, but you got the stolen bases. I'm curious. I would love to look up an alternate stat, like how many pitches he sees per plate appearance. I think you got to put him leadoff. Where do you guys think?
Where did he bat for the Guardians? Let me take a look.
Okay, there would have been Quan up there.
Where is that under splits? Maybe
it would have been.
Take a look right here.
Take a look. Someone's saying 8th, 1st, 9th. I mean, I could see 8th, 9th, or 1st. You're
so
right.
Primarily for them last year, it was 2nd, 6th, and 7th.
Okay.
He spent half the season batting 2nd and then half the season at the bottom.
Maybe there was like a split thing they did. Like maybe one, against lefties here, against righties here. Maybe they did that.
It's also possible. I mean, we don't know, but maybe they started him here. Wasn't doing as great as they hoped, and then moved him down. I'm not sure.
Could possibly be a thing too. I genuinely think he goes in the top. I genuinely think he goes the top of lineup because, I mean, you guys in the chat, Springer or Gimenez leading off. I mean, they're both sub 700 OPS guys, but at least one guy.
I take the stolen base threat.
I take the stolen base, and let's be honest, if you were to bet money on who's going to have an OPS over 700 next year, would you bet Springer or would you bet Gimenez?
Yeah.
I might go Gimenez because of the age. Because of
probably because that's the thing, right? Like I think that he's actually going to get better, or I'd hope that he gets better with age.
Right.
Okay. Keegan Matheson. I'm looking to see. The Blue Jays are doubling, and then in brackets says quadrupling down on defense by agreeing to acquire Andres Gimenez from the Guardians, one of the best defenders in baseball at second, who could slide to shortstop a year from now if Bichette signs elsewhere. Mm-hmm. His bat decides if he's good or a star. Yeah, you know what? And that's the way that we need to look at this.
Well, it's the same thing with Dalton Varsho, too. It's literally the exact same thing with Dalton Varsho.
I guess the one positive for me is, like, we've actually, like, the difference between him and Dalton Varsho is we've never actually seen Dalton Varsho have a year, like, this good, offensively speaking.
Yeah,
what I'm referring to is 2022.
Never, right?
He's never had a year that good.
And we have seen him not as bad as 2024, but we have seen him be as bad as the other years that he's had. So shout out to Chris who just subscribed right there. Everyone split on the Springer and Gimenez thing. I think think of the lineup this way. If it goes Gimenez, Bichette, Guerrero, Jesus Christ, we need to find someone number 4 now because now we don't have Horwitz. And then it'd be Springer. That's where we're at right now.
Shout out to Isaac right here with the $6.99 donut saying, I guess we're not getting Gleyber Torres. Ross just wants back-to-back all Gold Glove teams.
Facts.
W's in the chat for Isaac for donating right there. I think that this should officially take you out of the Gleyber Torres sweepstakes. However, Thomas Hall brought this up on Twitter earlier. Does it open up a spot in that DH? W's and thank you to the person that just subscribed right there. Does this open up that DH spot for potentially
Pete Alonso or Christian Walker?
Because if you go out and you get a Pete Alonso, and you know what I mean? It's
maybe even a Christian Walker too. Either one, right?
Whatever, man. I mean, I would prefer.
Obviously prefer.
But like either or. Then you're getting that, that bat that you needed,
right?
And you're also improving the infield defense,
which it's not that good anymore.
Exactly,
it's not that good.
I was gonna say it's not a huge problem, but it could become a problem soon.
You had Ernie Clement get the nomination for third Gold Glove, third base Gold Glove, excuse me. But you think about Bo, you think about Horwitz was gonna play second for us. It wasn't that great defensively speaking, right? So. Also, people were saying Mike Rodriguez. As I mentioned earlier, Corbin Burns is Boston's #1 priority. My source tells me that they are very close to reaching an agreement. Don't tell me, because, again, totally off topic, totally different topic here, but we just saw Max Fried leave the board, go to the Yankees. We need Corbin Burns.
I'm only guys.
I'm not buying into
I'm only just starting to come around to Andres Gimenez. We cannot lose out on the possibility of Corbin Burns, especially to the fucking Red Sox.
No, because so far this offseason has been a very much Ross Atkins offseason where you trade for a reliever, you trade for defense, and then you get back an old reliable friend. Literally, KK was our old reliable friend. Trading for defense, Dalton Varsho a couple years ago, and a reliever, Eric Swanson.
Okay, everybody's saying Corbin Burns to the Giants. I just looked up Corbin Burns' name on Twitter. I do not see that. I'm not sure where you guys are getting that from. If you're just trolling, then please stop trolling because we do want to bring the accurate news here if possible, folks. If you haven't already done so, we got 129 likes. Can we get up to 200 likes on the stream, guys?
Ooh.
That would be good.
I can't show this right here, but there's a what do they call it? The MLB trade simulator that shows the value. Make this what you will. I think they're considering the fact he was bad defensively and the contract, but a negative value of negative 35.2 going to the Blue Jays and a value of positive 28 going over the Guardians.
It's because of the contract, man. It's because of the contract, and honestly, it boils down to this. the Toronto Blue Jays are, I guess, just more willing to pay that contract than the Cleveland Guardians ever would be, because ultimately he's not crazy expensive right now, but when you look over so this year Andres Gimenez is going to cost $10.5 million.
Okay.
However, I can see from a Guardian standpoint, in 2027, he's going to cost almost $24 million a year.
Okay.
And that is a lot of money for them.
You know what? That's okay, because 2027, all we have is Jose Barrios and Yaro Rodriguez.
And now this guy.
That's fine. That's fine.
Now this guy.
So it actually makes sense that it's actually a perfect contract for the Blue Jays right now, because we don't have to pay that much right now, and we could possibly stack on another guy this year.
Honestly, I think that this contract, so that's the thing. In 2027, we're going to have to reevaluate. If he is hitting at a mid to high 700 OPS, then I think that this money looks really good. Assuming the defense is still where it needs to be.
Absolutely.
If he is, because that's the thing, ultimately, if he is hitting at a 638 OPS clip, that's gonna be tough. It gets tough to warrant that.
That's when we go, well, this is another Dalton Var show. And then the narrative will become, Ross did it again. He didn't learn from his mistakes. He traded for a guy who was clearly regressing, and then traded for defense. That's what it's all going to become. And then if Spencer Horwitz pops off, then it's going to become that too. So hopefully it doesn't become that.
Scott Farr with a $199 dono saying 3 times Gold Glove, under control till 2030. This is a W. Swingology with a $499 dono saying Jimmy back plus faster IKS. If we miss out on a big bat, we'll be exactly where we were at the start of 2023. Well, let's be very clear, okay? If we miss out on a big time bat, this is it's a null offseason. It's still an L for us. I like this trade. We've really done a full 180 here and kind of
we have go to the beginning to now.
Literally, after we saw the Spencer Horwitz name, it kind of all went crashing down.
It was sensitive. It
was an emotional topic, but this is a good trade if you still go out and get somebody that can swing the goddamn baseball bat. Because keeping in mind as well, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Andres Gimenez. However, you did just lose your second best hitter. Spencer Horwitz.
That was our second best hitter last year.
Your second best hitter last year. From an OPS standpoint, from just an overall standpoint, it was Guerrero, and then it was Spencer Horwitz. We're not a team that can afford to lose offense, so you need to supplement that and then some, through free agency or through trade.
Yeah, I mean, also I like to think of it this way too. Like, okay, well, if you lost Horwitz kind of took over very minorly. I'm not ever going to compare him to a Bo Bichette, but like he made up for what a little bit of the loss of Bo Bichette.
I get that, yeah.
So think of it this. So if Bo Bichette bounces back, well, there's a replacement right there. But still, as we saw last year, that wasn't enough offense.
Yeah, I get that.
So we do need to add on just a little bit more to make this good. And just from a pound-for-pound thing in this trade, again, we're never really going to find out whether it was a good trade or not until like 3 or 4 years down the line, because Spencer Horwitz has 5 years left on his rookie or in his contract, and then this guy's got 5 years. How long do we have him for? 5 years? I don't even want to check now, but like 5 years.
We have him for 5. So we got him till 2029, and then there's a club option for 2030. So it's effectively like if he's playing good baseball,
5 or 6 years. Yeah,
we're gonna have him till he's age 30.
Oh my god.
So what? Again, presumably his prime. This is we should presumably have him for his prime. Bone 6000 coming in here with a $699 dono. Thank you very much. Saying people need to chill and stop thinking this is our big bat. Clearly more to come. Plus, we still have too many infielders.
Okay. I like that, Bone.
People are saying Jesse Friedman. I can't find Jesse. Are you guys spelling it properly? Jesse Friedman. Is this the guy right here? I can't find him, guys. Everyone's saying Jesse Friedman, but I can't find who you're talking about right now.
No, I can't find it either.
Yeah, like I'm literally looking that up, quick clips, and like I just do not see this guy at all.
M says, do you think Bobichik gets traded down? Not a chance. not a chance. Could you imagine? That would be a blockbuster. He gets traded right now. Jesse Freeman, let me give a shot here.
Yeah, try your best, dude. I can't find him anywhere.
Is this him? Fried Land?
I don't think so.
This guy? No, this doesn't look like a guy. This doesn't look like a guy.
Michael Borland with a $5 donation saying, I imagine they only make this deal if they're confident they're getting a real bat. You gotta hope so, dude.
See, that's the thing is like, you'd think, but we didn't do it last year, or we didn't do it the year prior when we got Dalton Varsho, when we traded away that offense with Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Like, they got Brandon Belt, but like, we're not looking for Brandon Belts this year. We're looking for big time doing something dumb. Okay. Oh, there it is. There's the idea.
I did find it. Yeah, it was the end that we were missing there. Jesse Freeman, Mike Hazen, on if he expects to make a big move by the end of the winter meeting. Probably not at this point. Sorry, what is this?
Hazen? I don't know who that is.
I'm not sure.
I don't know who that is.
What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I genuinely do not know what you're referring to right now, what he said.
Who the hell is Hazen? Is that the guy from the Guardians?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
Oh, it's D-back news. Oh, sorry. I'm very ignorant to guys in the NL. I don't know. Yeah, I'm very ignorant to NL Diamondbacks guys. What, does he want to trade us back, Mr. Moreno? That'd be great. We get back Moreno. That'd be phenomenal. Okay, so
GM of the D-backs. Okay, yeah. So apparently he's not trying to do something super big.
Oh, okay.
At these winter meetings, which I guess is something to note. Not Ross Atkins. Ross Atkins is out here and fucking going after it right now. What are your thoughts on the Max Fried deal, by the way? Because that was
I think it's great.
Literally in the last hour, it has been a dagger of information because
my God,
you get you straight up get the loss of our 5th overall pick to go to number 8, and then 60 seconds later it's Max Fried on an 8-year deal,
8-year deal, 218. So it ends up being to the Yankees.
Yeah,
it ends up being a $27.5 million per year. Yes, I would have took that.
That is an insane rotation that they have over there. By the way, guys.
Shout out to Lucas, by the way.
W's in the chat for Lucas, our new subscriber, guys. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. The fact that they're going to have Garrett Cole, Max Fried, who's after that? Carlos Rodon, Luis Heel, and then
Marcus Stroman.
That's
pretty solid.
That is a very good rotation. If they end up getting a Pete Alonso,
right?
I don't want to say that they're all the way back because Juan Soto is Juan Soto, but they're pretty back.
Yeah, they probably need to shore up the middle infield still. I mean, who's their? It is still Volpe, but they lost their second baseman.
True.
I don't even know DJ LeMahieu. Like, who's going to be their second? Oh, probably Jazz Chisholm, but who's their third baseman? DJ LeMahieu. Like, they probably want to get a Bregman. They probably would have liked this trade too. Actually, they probably would have messed around with a Andres Gimenez trade, and they probably would have paid for it.
Yeah.
Also, yes, I do see that Mike was, saying that, yes, Mike Rodriguez saying, yes, the Burns is looking like the Red Sox are in on him.
That's scary.
We need to get Corbin Burns. And I said this to Nick right before, I forget which stream at this point I said this to him, but pound for pound, I said we need to get a Corbin Burns, because if you go Garrett Cole versus Corbin Burns, there's a competitive matchup there. It could go either way. Then you go Kevin Gausman versus who would it be? Who would it be that's next on there? Oh, it would be Max Fried. Okay, depending on how Kevin Gausman bounces back, maybe slight edge to Max Fried right there. Shout out to Chaos Champion, and welcome to the community.
W's in the chat.
But then you go Barrios versus, maybe you could say Heel, or maybe Rodon. Let's go Rodon. Okay, there's an actual fight there. You're like, pretty consistent Jose. Shout out to Jay Rich. Then you go Bowden Francis, young breakout guy, versus Luis Heel. There's a competitive matchup there depending on how they all do next year. And then it's Marcus Stroman versus Bassett, 2 veterans. Like, that's how you go pound for pound against the Yankees in the rotation. And then if we go get a big bat, depending on what they do too, then we might actually have a legit shot to beat the Yankees this year.
I'm taking a look right now at Sandlin, at our guy Nick Sandlin. It looks like he's more of a middle innings type of guy for those Cleveland Guardians. I get it, because their bullpen is so freaking stacked. But again, like, this is somebody that I'm kind of getting excited about as well, right? Like, this is somebody in the bullpen that we actually have serious control on, which is something that we haven't had in a really long time for a lot of guys.
Right. Also, everyone say Mike Rodriguez. Guys, we already looked at the Mike Rodriguez. Appreciate it. It's the Corbin Burns thing like I just talked about. But, look, last year was okay. We had a lot of guys that were like him, I guess, maybe a little bit better. He's a little bit better. But if he can bounce back to what he first broke out in the league and became, then totally. That's a middle reliever guy right there. That's a Genesis Cabrera at minimum, hopefully kind of guy.
Yeah, right? Exactly. No, I think so, dude. Like, I actually kind of fuck with this deal now.
Actually, it's crazy. Let's say this. We could all agree we just watched the live draft lottery, and we just heard Max Fried going to the Yankees, and then we hear, Gimenez to the Blue Jays, and immediately we're like, okay, this is another bad thing. We didn't know the details, but now that we know the details, it's okay. Honestly, I see it a lot. Similarly, maybe even less risk, like a Dalton Varsho, and we got him for longer.
And honestly, like, it really does, like, this is going to be one of those deals too where I think that depending on, because hindsight's going to be 2020. If Spencer Horwitz comes out and builds off of last year, then it's going to be like, oh my God, what were we thinking? More signs. Defense, like, are you serious? But I could also very clearly see a reality where Spencer Horwitz, and this is no disrespect to Spencer Horwitz, but I could see reality probably more times than not, actually, that he comes out and does worse than last year. And then it's like, okay, well, we got a great defender in here, and we didn't give up that much, if you really think about it that way.
No, absolutely. And also, I just thought of it like this. You want to track some pitching? Well, we just got a 3-time Gold Glover in the middle infield. We have Dalton Varsho in center.
Yeah.
We have, I know Vladdy's not the best first baseman, but he is a former Gold Glover. We had a nominee in Ernie Clement over at third, at least right now. George Springer is over there in right. He can go out and get it. I mean, hey, if I'm a pitcher, and you know how much pitchers love defense, they also love offense too, but at least that's something you could now sell to a pitcher like Corbin Burnes coming over and playing for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Dude, for me, if we don't get Corbin Burnes, then that's going to suck. I really want to get that guy. However, if we don't, he can't go to the Red Sox.
No, he can't.
He can't go to the Red Sox. The one thing that we've always been saying for years now is, well, the Boston Red Sox pitching, like ever since Chris Sale kind of fell off, it's like, Boston Red Sox, like their pitching isn't all that,
Right.
They get Corbin Burnes with like some of the breakouts that they had last year, and it's like, okay, I mean, their rotation could be right there with us, like assuming their breakouts like build off of what they did last year.
They have last year. They had Houck.
They had there was 2 other guys too that actually did really well. Up. I know the second half of the year wasn't as strong.
Yeah.
But they showed enough promise that if you do get an established ace like Corbin Burnes, you might feel pretty good about it.
I know they had Nick Pivetta, who again had a strong first half and then a bad second half, but he's gone now. I think they offered him a qualifying, and I think he declined it. I'm pretty sure he declined it. I'm just taking a look right now at their roster.
Also, everybody's suggesting Sasaki. Thank you to
James Ford. I mean, hell yeah, if we got Sasaki,
Roki Sasaki. So there's actually somebody was saying an article here by Shayna Rubin, and she's talking about how the San Francisco Giants are among teams who are prepared to make a presentation to Roki Sasaki, and that makes a lot of sense too. Like, I think all those teams on the West Coast specifically, Padres, Giants, Dodgers, all those squads are going to have a lot to say to Roki Sasaki. The Jays are going to do their best because apparently they've been planting seeds from this guy for years now. So they're going to shoot their shot. Don't hold your breath, because honestly, if I was him, I'm going to the LA Dodgers and I'm not thinking twice about it. However, if he does want to do something crazy like Shohei Ohtani did and, wow everybody and end up, choosing the Toronto Blue Jays, we are all the way back.
Apparently, we're mispronouncing it. Apparently, it's Sasaki.
Sasaki. Okay, apologies,
Sasaki.
guys. Yeah, apologies.
Funny. We looked it up, and it was Sasaki.
No one knows, man.
We'll figure it out.
Listen, if he's a Toronto Blue Jay, I'll figure it out.
But Roki, actually, there was an article. I forget who said it. Probably an MLB insider. But an article came out, was talking about that Roki might actually prefer not going to a big market team because he doesn't actually like the media that much. So I mean that would not be good for us because we're a big market team and we have a lot of media, so that would suck. But I'm seeing this is the Red Sox rotation. It's actually kind of good. Tanner Houck, Cutter Crawford had a good year last year. Brian Bayo, he had a great year last year. Garrett Whitlock, I don't think he's that great. And remember Lucas Giolito?
Yes.
They got him still. They got him. Look at Mike Rodriguez, people are saying.
Yeah, it's still the same stuff thing, right now with Corbin Burnes, guys. So, yeah, right now, Boston Red Sox #1 priority, according to his source, is Corbin Burnes, and they are very close to reaching an agreement. However, the negotiation is very advanced. Fuck, man. If they end
if
up,
that's true,
if they actually end up getting him, dude, like that is not
it's game over.
I mean, well,
what do we? Yeah, now we need Roki.
We have, or you go get Roki, and then like you also like Flaherty. You want to pick up Flaherty? I don't know, like it's something to say. Thomas Hall is kind of coming out and listing out some of the arguments right here. Also, apologies that we can't be pulling this up on the computer. We don't want to risk it right now.
The tech has been really bad, guys. So like we'd rather not crash and just bring you a live stream.
Literally, we will deal with it soon, hopefully.
Boxing Day.
But yeah, effectively, Thomas Hall is just talking about how we have a lot of cards to play in this infield depth. So yeah, however, we probably know,
like meaning in terms of trading,
in terms of deciding on stuff. Gimenez hits left, so where would that put Will Wagner?
Oh, okay.
He's trying to high on. Yeah, because I mean, if you really think about it, that infield now, Gimenez is the locked-in second baseman. You got Vladdy, the locked-in first baseman. Unless they make a surprising trade, Bo Bichette for at least a year is the locked-in shortstop.
Right. Where does that put Will Wagner? Where does that put Ernie Clement? Where does that put Ravis Martinez?
Where does that put Addison Barger? Where does that put Leo Jimenez? Like the list goes on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah, like I think, yeah, sure, if they're high on Will Wagner, and don't get me wrong, I love Will Wagner too. He showed some great prospect with his contact last year. Like that was some pretty good stuff. And he was able to turn on some really good inside fastballs, which is great to see a young guy doing. But, you know, if we got to trade him away for a good starting pitcher, I give him to me, or a good, more bullpen guy, we got to do something. Or you package some guys together, you trade them away for a big bat. Like, you got to find a way to get a bat in there. That's the number one priority for me other than starting pitching right now.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Like, if you lose out on Corbin Burns, I mean, again, that's going to suck. I would love to have that trust. I mean, I know the talent of Corbin Burns. He's incredible. But if you miss out on him, it's not the end of the world. You cannot afford to miss out on either a Teo or an Alonso or a Bregman, or that's where it becomes a big problem.
I'm just laughing right now because I just realized this whole podcast is live stream, and like we've both been doing it, but we're convincing ourselves again. We're doing it. Like, imagine if you were to tell me pre-off season and during the regular season, we're gonna make a trade. We're gonna send away Spencer Horwitz for a defensive first. In middle infielder, and here we are,
defense and pitching.
We're gonna sign back Jimmy and trade away Horwitz, who at the time we'd be like, what the fuck? Well, like that. I remember saying Horwitz is the one guy that's like off my no trade clause if we don't get a big bat.
On now.
And imagine if that was it. Like, and then we got like nothing else. We got a couple more bullpen guys, and that was it. Like, that's overall offseason. It's like that's a C-. You know.
Well, then that is why they need to do other stuff. That's why there's got to be more to this than just getting Andres Gimenez and Jimmy Garcia back. This is a good. Like I like that we've done this because this is a foundation for something.
Sure. Yeah.
But
for the future,
we have not made the big move yet.
No.
And I'm hoping that there's not just one big move, but there's multiple big moves because, like we keep saying, this is a 74-win ball club.
Yeah.
I mean, Andres Gimenez is great, and he had 4 WAR last year, but that's not a guy that's going to bring you to the playoffs. And sure as fuck, once you get there, isn't going to be the guy that's hitting you to the next round.
And we have money to make the moves, too. I mean, just for the next year, I think he's $10 million, Gimenez. $10.5 million. Let's say 10 around it because you traded away Horwitz. So $10 million plus 7.5 for Jimmy Garcia. We spent $17.5 million today. Okay, that's... Oh, and I guess what's the Nick guy? I guess he's probably
on arbitration 1 now.
True. So let's say it's $18.5 million we just committed to this year. Okay, cool. So there's still room and opportunities to go get a big signing. That's a 20 and 25, maybe even 30 million guy out there that we could still spend the money on. Shout out to Last Duel Gaming with a $10 donut saying good evening, guys. Ross Atkins has lost his mind. I will forgive him if he trades for Garrett Crochet. That's another guy.
That's another one, yeah.
Right, because to finish off this right here, Luis Robert and getting Jesus Luzardo. Interesting. Boston is getting Corbin Burns. We need Santander Hernandez. Okay, that was another thing too. Articles came out saying if Boston missed out on Max Fried, that they would go and pivot to maybe a Crochet trade. I wasn't even thinking that there could be a possibility for the Toronto Blue Jays.
I also heard, too, that Dylan Cease is being made available right now.
That's crazy.
I don't know why they're doing that, but that would be incredible. Over 1,000 people watching. If you haven't already done so, folks, please hit that subscribe button, guys. Your name will pop up right here. There was just some minor breaking news here from Talking Baseball, reposting effectively what Tim Healy reported an hour ago, and it was saying that, no, this is good news. This is good news. The Mets were not in on Max Fried, and they're expected to... and are not expected to sign Corbin.
Okay,
they're
Tim
not,
Healy.
Yes, so they are, and that's a good thing. Anytime that you can get Steve Cohen out of the sweepstakes for somebody is a good thing for us.
Kind of shocking. I mean, maybe it's the Juan Soto effect, but like kind of shocking they wouldn't go balls to the wall right here.
Yeah, I really listen, man. Even Steve Cohen has his limits, and ultimately, like, I think that again last year too. It's not like they really had an ace or anything.
No, they had a collection of guys.
It was a collection of guys, so they're probably going to try to do something similar to that again. Maybe they go out and they get like a
Clay Holmes.
Yeah, exactly. Like.
Or not Kent Tomato. Who did they get? Frankie Montas.
Yes.
Like that's again. They're kind of repeating the same formula. But if they really wanted to win, they go get Corbin Burns. That's a win every 5 games effectively.
It would be, yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of everyone's saying bye, Vlad.
And honestly, like, okay, so it was reported earlier today that the Blue Jays and the Angels are showing interest in Gleyber Torres. But at this point, shout out and thank you to
Richie.
W's in the chat to Richie. At this point, Blue Jays and Angels are showing interest in free agent second baseman Gleyber Torres. I just don't think that there's any reality at that point now for Gleyber Torres.
That would actually make no sense. Where would you put him? You can't put him anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that this means that we are officially out on Gleyber Torres for certain. In fact, yeah, we're definitely out on Gleyber Torres. I don't think that this takes us out of the running, though, for any of the other big free agents. I think you could still be in on Bregman.
Yeah.
You could still be in on Pete Alonso. Yeah. I think that you're still in on everyone.
Because now we have no DH.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, perfect. We can absolutely do that.
Yeah, literally, you signed Pete Alonso, and then he's just the DH now.
Yeah. Well, someone's saying, DePort Schneider, shout out, saying Gleyber could DH. I mean, I'd rather have a good hitter, a really good hitter.
Yeah.
No offense to Gleyber. I'd rather have, like, power coming from my DH spot at this point, looking at our lineup.
There is a lot of other guys that I'd like swinging the bat over Gleyber Torres, and I'm being completely honest.
I mean, look, we already have our not so good bat filling up that second base spot. We already have another not so great bat. I mean, okay bat in Dalton Varsho in center field. We already have an aging guy in right field. We have Ernie Clement at third base. We don't know what's in left field. Like, we need bats. The only sure thing is Vladdy. Maybe Bo bounces back, and then that's all we got. Because now I was gonna say, well, we got Spencer Horwitz. He's gone. He's no longer a Toronto Blue Jay.
Is this a Bo replacement? It could be in the future. I think it's more Bo insurance than anything else, right? Like, you now have somebody available to step in for Bo Bichette should Bo Bichette walk, should you not get an extension done, which honestly it's kind of likely that you won't at this point, I think.
Yeah, wow. Everything's coming here to a reality for me, actually. Like, this is it. We made a lot of moves today, the Toronto Blue Jays. We went out, we got Jimmy Garcia. Love that. I'm starting to, like, honestly, for me, I'm right in the middle on this Gimenez trade. It all depends on what happens this season. Shout out to Arthas saying, why did it have to be Horwitz? I know.
Yeah, that is, again, like, that is definitely the blow here, and I think that is important to note. I wish the best for Spencer Horwitz.
Yeah.
I loved the season that we had with him. I think, should he have been brought up sooner, he would have been in there for Rookie of the Year voting. So it is a loss, certainly, to see him leave the Toronto Blue Jays. That being said, though, Andres Gimenez is a lockdown second baseman there in the infield, and he could play shortstop at a very, very high level. And you got him for time, too.
What about Nolan Arenado?
Listen,
sure.
After doing this, I certainly can't rule it out, because that's effectively what would just be what Andres Gimenez is, but at the third base.
Yeah, and older, obviously.
And older, yeah.
At the end of the day, we lost Horwitz. We got Sandlin. Let's not forget Sandlin. We have 2 new relievers today, everybody, and a new second baseman. Like,
yes.
Those were needs-ish. I guess the second base wasn't a dying need, but
yes,
we got it. Shout out to Matthew Long. But we got those needs in. We still need a power bat, a desperately power bat. We're filling out the outside shells of our roster right now. We need to fill up the core with a power bat. And I'm more on the idea that we do need a starting pitcher just because of how good it is. BNS, people, I think it's the full.
It's the full trade officially. Oh, okay. So we actually.
Oh.
We gave up another thing. Nick Mitchell. Do we know who Nick Mitchell is? Do we know who Nick Mitchell is?
We gave up Nick Mitchell, everybody.
I think your computer would crash if you brought that up, or...
Let's see, y'all. Let's see if my computer would crash. Nick Mitchell.
I'm going to take a look at our top prospects here.
Yeah, you look up that. I'll look up...
Are you part of this? Because he is a minor league outfielder here, Nick Mitchell.
Okay, so he's center field, right field. He is 21 years old.
He's not in the 30.
He's not in the top 30. Nah. Okay, so this is a big nothing burger. I mean, he actually had a pretty good year in 2024. Did we just draft this guy? Where was he drafted? 4th round. We just drafted him this past year. We just drafted him this past year, Nick Mitchell.
Yeah. Okay. He's not in the top 30, but still young, still maybe with some potential.
Honestly, had a pretty solid single-A year with a 289 batting average. Not so much pop, 816 OPS. Okay. So, maybe one day, right? Maybe one day becomes something. 4th rounder.
Yeah, 4th round pick from this past year. Okay, I mean, listen, it's not a major blow, man. Like, no. I don't think that doesn't really move the needle for me too much. I guess if that moved the needle for them, like, good stuff.
Yeah.
I like Nick Sandlin. I like Andres Gimenez. Keegan. What did Keegan just say?
I'm gonna keep pulling up stuff now, y'all, and hopefully, if it crashes, it crashes. If it doesn't, we're good. Ross Atkins on Andres Gimenez. I've got it right here, y'all. He says everything about him was attractive. Of course, he's attractive to you. He plays great defense. The work we did on his bat, and the offensive impact that can be there, the teammate, I heard he's a great teammate, actually. We've heard incredible things about the person, the level of speed and athleticism. That is very true. Being here for a long time. And yeah, he's going to be a Blue Jay for the next 5 to 6 years. Now, the one thing is, we did work on his bat and the offensive impact. This is 2022. What? I'm really curious of what that work is.
Yeah,
because what's the work here? I'm seeing a lot of blue. 11th in batting run value in 2023, 8th in batting run value in 2024. I actually agree with the speed and the defense for sure, and the athleticism and the being a good teammate. But, man, I really hope our new hitting coach has got something for him, man.
Massive shout-out to David here with a $6.99 dono saying, sign Alonso for DH and Santander for left field. Perfect. And sign Burns.
Oh, good. Okay, if we did that, that's an A-plus offseason.
Trade right the Bassett Hound for bullpen help. Lock up Bichette and Vladdy. Cheers, guys. Dude, cheers, I want you as our GM, man.
Yes.
David Abisher for GM, Toronto Blue Jays GM. That would be killer. While Adam was reading off that that Ross Atkins quote right there, which is kind of interesting to say the least, because
it's classic.
It is classic. To his credit, I'll put it this way: if Andres Gimenez could hit just a little bit better, he'd be a fucking amazing baseball player.
It's the same argument about Dalton Varsho. Yeah. It's the exact all offseason last year was like, if Dalton Varsho just hit like a 250 batting average, Buddy's gonna have a 7 WAR next year.
Yeah, because you think about it, they're right. The athleticism's crazy. The speed is crazy. The defense is insane. If you could just hit a bit better,
a steal.
You're literally an all-star every year. Ben Nicholson-Smith tweeted this out. Now, I don't exactly understand what he's saying here, but he said that some people at the winter meetings wonder if there might be a third team involved trying to acquire Spencer Horwitz. One source wondered about the Pirates. So does that mean that they would acquire Horwitz and then just immediately trade him away, or what does that mean? I think
there was talks happening and with the Guardians and maybe
the Pirates.
With the Pirates and maybe a third team about Horwitz. So apparently he was a hot commodity.
Yes.
Okay. Well, honestly, if he was that hot of a commodity, I think you got a good price in terms of WAR and a bullpen guy back.
Yeah, exactly. So Andres Gimenez comes to Toronto, Nick Sandlin comes to Toronto, Spencer Horwitz and Nick Mitchell go over to the Cleveland Guardians. That is the official trade. Let me toss something in the chat right now, guys. I'm going to toss a poll in here. You guys let us know if you like this trade, if you're vibing with this trade, if it's mediocre for you, or if you just overall hate it. By the way, folks, here, one sec. Let me get the poll up here. Do you like this trade? Subscribe to the channel if you want to vote in this trade.
That's right. That's right. Hit that subscribe button, guys. We had a great weekend, y'all, when we were watching Juan Soto. We got a lot of new friends in here. Guys, hit that subscribe button. Like up the stream. Let's try to get it to 400 likes if we can. We got almost 1,000 of y'all in here. If we can get to 1,000, or excuse me, 40 likes, or gosh, 400 likes, excuse me, that would be dope.
All right, there you go. The poll is in the chat right now. You guys vote and let us know what you think about this. Is it a mid trade? Is it a great trade? Is it a terrible trade? I don't think it's a terrible trade.
No,
I think that it's somewhere between a good and a mid trade, if I had to put it somewhere.
And it all depends on what happens. Like it would be a terrible trade if Horwitz became an all-star, hit 850, looked phenomenal, showed some great defense, and then Gimenez and Sandlin both suck. And is terrible with the bat, becomes a bad trade if that happens over the course of 2 to 3 years. It's a mid trade right now because it could go one way or another. It's a great trade if we get a all-star, good, high OPS kind of guy, like high 700s, maybe low 800s with 30+ stolen bags. That's a great trade.
Interesting stuff here from Fabian Ardaya. So he covers the Dodgers. And Andrew Friedman on Teoscar Hernandez was saying, I know that he has talked about wanting to resign. I know that we have talked about wanting him too, but it's not everything. He and his family get to go through the interest and figure out what makes the most sense for him. So honestly, they're kind of leaving the door open a little bit for somebody to come in and to scoop him up. Please, if that team wants to be the Toronto Blue Jays, I am fucking here for it.
If we get let's play a little fantasy.
Oh, we do this every goddamn time,
year,
man.
If we get Teoscar Hernandez, and that was the only move, we make all these moves, and then we just get Teoscar Hernandez, so we get 2 bullpen guys, Teoscar Hernandez and Andres Gimenez. What would you grade that offseason?
Sorry, say that again. Andres Gimenez, Teo, and
the 2 bullpen guys, and Jimmy and Sandlin. And we lost Spencer Horwitz.
So the only thing that you're adding now after this is Teo?
Just Teo.
C+ to B-.
Yeah, I was thinking about a B-.
Something along those lines.
You got your power bat. That was the big need. You filled out 2 bullpens, which is not bad.
Maybe B-.
And then an unexpected, solid guy for the future.
Yeah, because, I still think that ideally, you need more offense.
Right.
You need another offense on. I like Teo a lot, but I do worry about the age a little bit. Right. And also, we also just lost Spencer Horwitz in the offense.
So it's maybe a minor upgrade for now. We'll see how next year plays out. But that top 4 would then look like Gimenez, Bichette, Guerrero, Hernandez, and then I guess throw in George Springer in there. We could roll. We could roll a little bit.
It looks like most votes are in right now, and most of you guys are saying mid trade. I get it, but 32% of people are saying it's a great trade. 9% of people are saying that it's a terrible trade. Folks, I think that with everything that is happening right now with the Toronto Blue Jays and with these winter meetings, we're going to need to lock in a long live stream tomorrow, everybody. We are going to need to lock in a long live stream. Book it in your agenda. Major apologies for some of the tech issues that happened off the top of this. Obviously, the computer took a little while to get going, but we are here now. So lock it into your agenda. Blue Jays today, be here tomorrow, whether it be sometime in the midday or evening. We're not sure yet.
Depends on, I guess, the news and everything that breaks, guys. So.
I think we got to have a big-time live stream to kind of come to the conclusion of these winter meetings, because with the way things are looking, I don't think we're done by any capacity.
Not at all, right? We're still looking at Corbin Burns. Maybe there's another trade in the window for the Toronto Blue Jays. And again, the winter meetings end tomorrow night, so we're going to find out everything, and I hope that y'all enjoy it. I hope that the Blue Jays so far are not totally disappointing you. I was at an F earlier today. I'm at a nice D.
There you go.
I'm at a D right now.
Also, we did almost miss a dono, but I caught it. Yes. $6.99 from Adored Carrot saying off topic. Somehow, Beyond Average Mick still has his account open. Dude, I've been checking in with him every little while.
Yeah.
It's bad, man. Aww. It's bad. Listen, I think we've given it to him enough. He did kind of ask for it. but he can lay off the guy now, I think.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe to Blue Jays Today on your way out. And as always, guys,
go Jays, go!